Hello, my name is Anthony Carabache with the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association Professional Development Department, and today we're going to do a quick lesson on learning to use the editor in Brightspace. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how we use the editor. I've mentioned in previous tutorials and many others in the past that if you can learn how to manage this editor, you can learn how to manage any editor in the online world. It doesn't matter if you're using Weebly, WordPress, or Blogger. Virtually every online interface in the world looks and feels the same. In the past, these editors were called WYSIWYG editors. WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. These editors remove the barrier of know-how for code for folks like you and I to look like we are true webmasters. So let's get started. Once you've logged into Brightspace, enter your classroom. Once you've entered your classroom, the first opportunity to use the editor lives inside the news item. If you do not have a news item, create a new one. If you do have a news item, click on the drop-down arrow beside News and go ahead. Look for the New News Item link. On this page, you will see that you have the opportunity to create a new item under News. First, type in your headline. Make sure it's short, not too long-winded. Just below that, you will see a content box. This is the editor. Let's go through the options of the editor briefly to get a better understanding of how it works. On the far left, you will see what looks like a play button. This is Brightspace's very fancy button called the Insert Stuff button. To the right, you will see a button that allows you to insert images. To the right of that, you will see a button that allows you to insert a variety of links. These three buttons are the single most powerful buttons in the entire learning environment, and we will get to know them as we go through. To the right of these buttons, you will see a formatting box, which defaults to paragraph. We really don't need to change anything at this point. Then you will see our familiar friends, bold, italicize, and underline. To the right of those, you will see various buttons to do with indentation, creating lists. Move over a bit, and you'll see the ability to select fonts, font size, and the color. It's my recommendation that your font size is 14 or higher, and that your script is very short. Just below that box, you will see your availability options. What this means is you can actually plan a whole week's worth or a month's worth, for that matter, of news items and schedule them to appear at particular times. Below the availability is the option to add attachments. You can add a file, record audio, and record video. And finally at the bottom you will see a little more advanced setting called Additional Release Conditions. This is more advanced for when you have groups set up or specific types of participants that you want to have access to specific types of information. For now, we're going to practice creating a news item. The first item you should ever create when practicing is a simple text-based news item. Go ahead, put in a headline like hello and welcome. Now drop down to the content area and use the editor to post a welcome. Change the font, increase the size, and change the color of the font. And finally, hit publish. Voila! You've posted your first ever news item. If you want to see it, stand in front of your classroom by clicking on your classroom's name in the menu. Now, when someone enters your room, they're going to see your first ever news item. Now, every school board will have set up their environment a little differently. However, there are some basic elements that are common to all in the editor. In this instance, if I want to attach a file inside the editor, I can actually click on Insert Stuff and go to my computer. Also notice the other options I have for inserting things directly into the editor. There is, of course, the option to add a video note, to insert a link, and then to use the almighty embed code, which we'll learn about later. The button to the right of the Insert Stuff is the Insert Image, another very powerful button, but pretty straightforward, so go ahead and practice inserting an image when you're ready. Now the third button on the top left is a very powerful button. This is the Insert Quick Link. What makes this button amazing is that from this editor, you can direct students to videos, Dropboxes, and discussions all on one page. For now, we're going to use the news item to share information with our students and direct them to interesting articles, educational videos, and maybe even some practice exercises. Good luck.